Greetings, folks. Iolair here. Wargaming has posted to the World of Warships website today, September 9th, the developer bulletin for update 099. And as they usually do with these developer bulletin posts, they have also announced the first round of public testing for the update. So I'm going to do what I hope is a relatively quick walkthrough of these articles. A lot of the content, especially in the developer bulletin, is a repeat of material that came out of a development blog post that was announced a couple of weeks ago. I will leave links to all of these articles in the description below, and I also did do a video on the development blog announcement as well. So if you've already checked that out, some of this content, or a lot of this content that I'm going to talk about, will be a little bit of a repeat. However, Wargaming does often provide better refinement on how some of the content will be structured in the developer bulletin. So there are definitely some updates on the U.S. Navy battleships. So again, just a reminder, in 099, we will have early access to the U.S. Navy battleship line split. As is expected, only the Kansas and Minnesota will be available. They have clarified in the developer bulletin that the Kansas will be available through directives, and then the Minnesota can be acquired by buying random bundles that are available in the armory in exchange for doubloons. So the way I read that, as far as quote random bundles, is I think this is sort of the, you buy bundles for doubloons and then it's sort of random what you get in those bundles, but at some point you're guaranteed, provided that you buy into enough bundles to get the Minnesota. That's what I'm guessing. There's no imagery or other details here to confirm that, but that's kind of how I read this. Wargaming also confirmed that by completing directives, we can earn American tokens, and those American tokens can then be used to purchase these new Golden Eagle permanent camouflages for all three of the tech tree, the new tech tree ships, as well as for the USS Florida. So a tad more detail than we got from the development blog, but not a whole lot more, honestly. Next update is just a reminder that we're getting an updated naval base port, and then the announcement of the Mercenary feature, which I talked about at length in the video about the development blog post. It doesn't look like anything has changed here from what was announced previously. For those of you who haven't seen my previous video on this, just real quickly, this is going to be a method for a clan leader to invite people from outside their clan. This could be somebody in another clan, or maybe has no clan assigned to them, be able to participate in clan battles with the clan leader. And they call these players mercenaries. And actually, I have to give credit to one of my previous viewers, or one of my viewers, who pointed out this feature actually existed way back in early 2016 as part of what they called team battles, which was sort of a precursor to clan battles, where they had the ability for people to invite others to participate in team battles in sort of this, in fact, they called them mercenaries. But in any case, this feature is going to be implemented for 099, and I suspect, and I mentioned this in the previous video as well, I kind of feel like this is intended to be a graceful way for Wargaming to allow players, or I should say clans, that have sort of families of related clans, to have people across those clans participate in common battles and to reap the benefits like the steel and other rewards for that, without doing the account sharing, which has been a significant issue and violates the end user license agreements. So I think Wargaming is looking to try to come up with a compromise, but I also think that this could be a quite appealing feature for a lot of clans that maybe want to try to round out their teams with other players. All right, other changes, they've reminded us that the barbettes and main batteries of ships will now reduce the HP pool on ships when those main batteries and barbettes are penetrated. So today, if you penetrate a main battery or a barbette, you will get actually a penetration ribbon, but you won't actually reduce the HP pool on a ship. That will now be changed, and the amount of damage that you do to the HP pool of the ship will be 1/10 the maximum damage of the shell that did penetrate. They have also reminded us that they're introducing some reticle changes for carrier aerial attacks to make them presumably easier to execute. Again, I know there are lots of anti-carrier players out there that are not looking forward to carriers becoming even more effective, but Wargaming is making some usability changes to make the attack vectors, or at least the visuals. The mechanics won't change, but the visuals are supposed to help with aiming and things like that. All right, and then we're going to get some UI updates on the spaceport, and then the last update that they mentioned here is starting in update 099, we will be able to share a single installation of warships across all of the servers. What this means is that for players that have accounts on multiple servers, they don't have to have a separate installation of World of Warships, one for each server. Note, however, that this does not mean that accounts will be shared across servers. So you still have to have separate dedicated accounts for each server that you play on, but at least you can rely on having just a single installation and reducing the amount of disk and other resource burdens on your PC. All right, so those are the updates from the development blog, or developer bulletin, I should say, excuse me. And then the next article, like I said, is an announcement of the public testing. It does indeed start tomorrow, September 10th. At 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is for me here on the west coast of North America. So check your local times. Since the servers are all based in Russia and everybody globally uses the same servers, it's going to basically be the same time, but you just need to adjust for your time zone. There will be a public test server will host clan battles for tier 10 ships. We will be able to have a maximum of 2 mercenaries per division. So that means that when you construct your clan battle division, you can have up to 2 mercenaries. And then there are going to be a maximum of 1 destroyer, cruiser, and aircraft per clan battle. And just a reminder, this is going to be 3 versus 3 format for the public test server. And and they're actually not going to have any restriction on when you can start a clan battle. So unlike today, where clan battles tend to have like sort of reserved times when during the day when they occur, on the public test server, we can start them at any time. Wargaming is reminding us that the new U.S. Navy battleships will not be available on the public test server, although we can go through the mechanics of the event, but we won't be able to obtain the ships themselves. And then there's a list of the rewards that we can earn on our main live accounts that are associated with our with the public testing account. And then the last section is we see in all of the public testing announcements, basically what does your account start with if you open up a new account on the public test server. You basically get an account that's very rich with resources. You get 500 million credits, 30,000 doubloons, 90 days of premium time. Again, that's premium time on the public test server, so that you get the effect of playing with premium time. And then you get a bunch of signals. So basically everything's free. They give you a very stacked account that you can start with. And it makes it very convenient to play the game. They give you free commander respecs and things like that, so you can be experimenting a lot, which is very convenient. And then the last thing here is they've got a link to instructions on how to install the separate installation required for the public test server. So yeah, so you can go check that out. So I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, I wanted to try to keep this nice and crisp. Hopefully the information here was useful and interesting. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comments below. And as always, we hope to see you out there on the virtual seas, and we wish you happy sailing.